Okay. All right. You are live, and I
Woo,
am
I'm like,
live, and we are live.
okay.
Yeah. I've got
Hello, everybody.
hello, and welcome to WordStitch.
Yes, welcome.
Do you think we have people here at this point who don't know who we are? Possibly. It could happen. Um,
Yeah, like I feel like at this point we get so few people here that clearly most of them are just like stumbling in.
so if you're stumbling in, I'm Sandy, and I'm
I
with
am Chloe.
Chloe, yes, and we are WordStitch, and we are basically going to be doing a virtual write-in for you here today. So we'll talk a little bit, and then we'll write, and we're pretty strict about the breaks. So if you see our schedule in the little description, that's pretty much what we'll follow. Wow, I'm like zoned out today. Like I've been focusing so hard on the story, and I feel like it's making my mind mush. How are you doing, Chloe?
So I had a party Saturday night, and I
Mm.
want to blame that for not sleeping enough Saturday night. But actually, I did that real dumb thing where I decided to finish an entire novel
Oh.
in one day in like more hours than I had. So then I was up too late. I don't know. I did a whole bunch of dumb stuff planning on Saturday night into Sunday morning, such that I got 3 hours of sleep on Saturday and then went to a Ren Fair on Sunday and then got home from Ren Fair extremely exhausted and a little smelly from being outside all day. And then had to watch Game of Thrones, which ran until like 10. And then I work at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then like I had a rough day at work and then I just got home and jumped into this. So to make a really, really excessively long story short, I am running on not nearly enough sleep over the last 2 days.
I get that. You know, there was a time when like running on not enough sleep would have helped me. When I would have thought, "Oh, I'll be like more creative because I'm tired today," right?
You mean like in your 20s? Is that what you're referring to? Because in my 20s I was great with not enough sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I can no longer do it. Now not enough sleep is like, so basically I'm going to be lucky to keep my eyes open while I work on this scene. And that
Yes.
sucks. So,
Yeah.
um yeah, but we are gonna try today. So if you're with us, you know what? I think I have the word prompts from last week on the OBS thing still. Doggone it. We're gonna have to
I
change them
guess
as we
we
go.
are. No, are we not going to reuse last week's? I'm okay
Do
with
you, do you
reusing
want
last
to
week's.
reuse them? I think we're gonna
Yeah,
reuse them. Yeah.
I
All
feel
right.
like I'm still exactly where I was last week, which means that one of the prompts was impossible. I don't remember which one it was, but I do remember that being a thing of me saying, "Well, I'm on a boat right now, so this isn't working."
Yeah.
Um, but I will do my best. Yeah,
All right. All right, so hopefully you'll get stuff done despite being tired, and I'll get stuff done despite my brain feeling like mush. And if you're watching, you'll get stuff done because you're in a way better position to write than we are.
yeah, because
Having
you actually logged into a write-in at your own volition instead of saying, "Well, I scheduled this last week, so I better effing do it."
yeah, yeah, exactly. So good for you. So
Yeah.
all right, well let's get started on our first word sprint. So or at least get our
Yeah.
timer up and everything. Be ahead of the
Yes,
game
I am.
today.
I'm actually doing slightly better than usual. Good grief.
Oh, good.
Sorry, I'm trying
Yeah.
to like find the hourglass that I use for my timer. There we go. But like right now I've got GIMP, which is a Photoshop program open, and each one of its panels is like a separate thing that I could show you right now, which is insane, and added 10 additional things onto my list of windows that I could share with you.
Ooh.
Uh, but I'm sharing this window because it's the only one that's of any value to anybody other than me. It is five after. We are going to write 10 minutes. It's going to be a very short sprint just to like warm up and figure out where the heck you are in your story. So we will see you guys at quarter after.
Okay, we are back. Oh, wait
There
a
I am
second.
now back.
Okay, yes, we are back. Um,
So I had a bit of distraction at like 30 seconds until the timer was up. My cat suddenly started attacking this bag, and I realized that it's got like a bunch of herbs and spices from Run Fair in it, including catnip. Like, why is my cat trying to kill my bag? Oh,
because you've got something in there for it.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay, my bag is safe now.
there is that is what is
Yeah.
going on with this.
Yeah. So, how was your writing?
It's a struggle. This
Sorry.
is I no, it's okay. I so I had this like horrible realization the other day, and it's not like this is
Mm,
a surprise, but like it suddenly just felt very overwhelming that I have a book without a clear plot, or like the plots that I have are being so buried by like everything else, that like
right.
no one's going to be able to see through it. So like there is plot, you're going to have to like dig through so much other stuff to find it. I'm yeah. So this is a massive problem because that's going to
Yeah.
take me forever to fix.
Yeah, I wish I was more encouraging than this, but yes, that is a problem.
Yeah.
Um, Books must have plots, which this is why I'm an advocate for writing in chronological order. Um, because it terrifies me the notion of jumping around and then having to somehow piece a story together out of a bunch of random scenes.
Yeah, it's frightening is a good word for it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I don't know. Like I have to admit, right this second, I'm kind of thinking about going to the very end and like writing it backwards. I feel like part of the problem is that I've not like I've built the tension up so slowly, and I think it might actually be really smart to like reverse my process and be like, wow, like like because seriously, like I've got 70,000 words written or something that I'm like decently happy with.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you read those 70 words, you might be like, so wait a second. What's your main protagonist's goal right now? And I'd be like, well,
Oh.
obviously, like, she's been busy. She's been like, making out with some boys, being pissed off with her family. Um, you
No,
know. So I don't know, but if
no,
I wrote it
no,
from
that's not
the no,
enough.
but if I wrote it from the back, then I might actually be able to say like, yeah, okay, so this is where she's trying to get to, and it might not have taken me 70,000 words. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about it. Also, I'm playing with the Rubik's Cube because this is the kind of thing I do, guys, when I get so nervous about plot that I don't know quite what to do about it. So I hope your problems are less than mine with that kind of thing right now.
Um, I ended up having to do so I've been struggling on the same scene since last week. Um, and like dealing with other stuff, but kind of using that other stuff as an excuse to not write. Which it was important stuff. I'm not gonna say that I wasn't getting stuff done. I've just been really, really busy lately, so getting the time to actually write,
It's hard.
I shouldn't be squandering it with other stuff. Anyways, um, so I finally like gave up on writing this scene and just did an outline of it, which I'm okay with. I'll just go back and write it, do some research, write it. When I go through to do the draft, but like I gotta have this entire story put together before I can move on to something else, or I will lose this story. That's how I am.
I think that's how everybody is. You're just like better at actually like pulling it off. Like you don't
Okay.
you're not going to do this thing that I might do, which is something to the effect of, nah, this thing is not working well, so maybe I should just forget it. Generally,
You
like,
don't really have a choice in the matter on sassafras, though.
yeah, no, I don't. So probably it is
None too
actually going to
far.
happen. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I'm very much so feeling like it's going to be difficult. Yeah. So if you're watching and you have advice on how to handle a story that goes like Chloe's idea of an epic nightmare, um, you could feel free to like let me know, because I would take that advice
Yeah.
right now. Is what I would do.
Yes.
Damn it. Also, my Rubik's Cube is not going very well.
And
Yeah.
I will say for you, again, I feel like you're learning valuable lessons this time around. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I am. I
Don't
am.
don't do it this way ever again. Figure this stuff out in advance. Learn your market. Use beat sheets.
Seriously. The beat sheets are huge, right? Like, this is something I'm supposed to be doing right this second. I'm for my trip that's
Mhm.
going up. And so if you're watching us, we are going to be out for a couple of weeks here. It is Memorial Day's fault and then my fault. And with the whole Memorial Day thing, or sorry, the my fault thing, that's because I'm going on vacation where I plan to write a murder mystery, because that's what I think of as vacation. But I've never done this before, so I'm totally gonna download a beat sheet, and that's what I planned to do this week. Was like prepare for my trip by downloading beat sheets and stuff, not obsess over a story that I can't figure out how to complete.
I think both are valid. Do you really need to spend that much time downloading beat sheets?
I don't know. I
That's like
haven't ever
actually a
actually done
serious
it.
question. I realize it sounds kind of sassy, but that's a serious question. I
Yeah.
feel like you just find like the beat sheet that speaks to you and move on.
I think that uh, if I had ever seen a romance beat sheet, then yes. Or sorry, a mystery beat sheet, because I'm not doing romance. This is mystery type stuff.
Gotcha.
Um, I don't actually know. So the other thing I was hoping to do was read some like Agatha Christie, because
Oh yeah.
that
Yes.
seemed like really helpful research. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know when that's gonna happen. That is,
Yeah, that's
wow.
my issue right now is I'm trying to find a shipwreck
Yeah,
in a novel, but like not like, Robinson Crusoe or Swiss Family Robinson or whatever. Like in a romance novel. Like I need to know like how much action I need in this thing. I need
yeah,
to know how specific to be. I
yeah.
need to know how other people are pulling this off. And I don't know. Also, I've quickly learned and trying to find anything like this that like everybody else is in the exact same boat that I am. So all the other authors are just not writing rough seas. And
Ah,
unfortunately, like my story, the entire second act is kind of hinging on this. I have no other idea of how to get through the second act than this because that's who I am as a writer. Once I figure out how to do it or like what it is, then I don't know. I can't come up with any other ideas.
yeah, no, I think this makes sense. That like shipwrecks are hard to write, and therefore you're having a hard time finding a shipwreck.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a funny thing. Yeah.
I will say for you, I don't know. I feel like Agatha Christie is not like the hip happening thing, which was like the worst way to say anything like this,
No,
anyways.
that's fine.
Um, I don't think that Agatha Christie is on brand anymore for mystery. So you might want to do the age old looking at the Amazon hot list and seeing like what mysteries are selling right now.
Yes, there is that also, and there are a couple that I think are what I'm trying to do, but we're supposed to be writing right now, not talking
We
about my.
are. I
We
don't know if you
can.
heard my little ooh for a second there, but that was exactly what it was.
Okay.
Me looking down and seeing that it is 25 after. So we are going to write. We're going to write for the next 25 minutes this time. So you should actually be able to get like some serious writing or some serious editing in. I almost just showed you my manuscript instead of this handy dandy clock, but that's okay. I was like, oh, it's highlighted. That must be it. Oh, no, that's where I did that weird outlining thing. So it is 25 after. We're going to write for the next 25 minutes. So that is going to take us to 10 of. Good luck, everybody.
Okay, we are back.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yes. That sounded enthusiastic. Does that mean that that scene that you're working on went well? Are
Yeah,
things?
I've got like literally 3 words left in it. And then I will be done with this scene. It's not done. It did not go well. But I will be moving on to the next scene, which is them fighting, which I do much better at. Yeah.
Because fights are so much fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have many words of fighting that I can work with, and not that many words of good, solid political conflict. But it will come. I did actually scoot forward in my book to like a
Oh,
near
good.
end scene. Yeah, because the thing is, like, linear only works if you can do that and keep writing the whole time, right? Like,
Well, I feel like linear only works if you actually started your rough draft linear.
I don't know. I'm not sure I'm ever gonna have that ability. See, this is gonna be the opposite lesson of what you want me to learn, right? Because what I'm gonna end up doing is going through the scenes now near the end of the book and trying to decide which I can keep. It'll be totally non-linear, and then at some point I'll have to like build in chapter 22 to make everything work. And I'll have learned from that it's easier if I let myself skip around. I'm gonna mess your whole system up. I'm sorry.
I don't think so because again, this is just the fault of you not writing linear to begin with.
Yes, but this is going to be like this for
I never said you had
several.
to edit linear.
Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good
Yeah.
point. I don't know, maybe. It's certainly like the beat sheet thing is extremely helpful. And I will be looking into that.
Well, and I feel like if you really want to stick with the insanity of not writing linear, then a really, really desperately overcomplicated beat sheet is exactly what you need for that.
Well, actually, that's a really good point. Beat sheets do kind of let you not write linearly, right? But
Yeah.
although I think that there are some genres that sort of like lend themselves better to linear writing. Like, I I don't know, the romances that I've done non-linearly, that's a disaster. Like, that should never be done. You don't, as far as I can tell, you don't need to jump around, right? Like
Yeah, no.
even if you have to like kind of replace a scene later on, you should
Hmm.
always have in your mind things like, okay, this is the scene now where they get in a fight. And next is the scene where they talk to their best friend about it. And next is the scene where something complicates something. Like you should be able
Yeah.
to easily know where you're going next. I think fantasy for me is harder because I don't have a clear this is where they're going next. Like, I know it has to be rising tension, but there's no obvious this is how to make it rise. So this is a problem that I have. And my damn Rubik's Cube is not going as well as I wanted to either. I set it down, obviously, during the whole writing bit. Everything is a disaster, Chloe.
I
Everything.
don't I don't think a Rubik's Cube would ever help me write. So I don't have any sage wisdom on that particular thing.
Oh.
I think like definitely 100% agree with you about romance. You have to write linear, and I say that just because like that's the only way I feel like you're really going to get that like good progression in a relationship. I
Yeah.
feel like it's really hard to like go into a story saying, okay, this chapter that I'm writing now is when like everything's good. And this chapter that I'm writing now is when they hate each other. And then this chapter here is when like they're almost good, but not sure quite if they're good yet. And then this chapter is when, everything fell apart. Like I feel like that, like there's no way that you would have them actually feeling normal, like that the emotions that they were going through would come off realistically at all unless you somehow like do something where you write out the entire plot, and then you go back in and put the emotions in, and I feel like that would probably be even worse.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think if you're not, because the other thing, of course, about romance is like you have to sort of fall in love as your characters fall in love, right? So like,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So if you're not doing that, then you're. I mean, you fall in love sequentially. It
Yeah.
there's like I mean, it's not just emotional. It's like a chemical progression that your readers need to then feel. Um, and there is a chemical progression, I think, and an emotional progression in other stories as well. But the YA genre is a little all over the map. Like it's a little. I'm not actually sure. Like if I'm thinking about my stories that I've read recently, like could I even identify beats? And I don't know if I could. Like
Yeah.
I think I would have to say it's more like in YA, things just continue to get worse for your protagonist.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I feel like YA is this constant sustained tension that like there's just like piling on and piling on, piling on. And there's really very few like catch your breath moments in it. And I feel like that's just I don't feel like that's exactly how the market needs to be. That just is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's totally true. It's fight, learn information that's going to kill you. Fight,
Yeah.
learn information that's going to kill you. And this is part of my problem
And
right
then like
now.
cram that little bit of romance, like right there, but oh my God, stop because it's time to fight again. Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, I'm doing a weird thing because I've removed my characters in this book from like the fight on the grounds that they're like really poorly trained and they need some teachers. Um,
I feel like that is absolutely a trope in the YA genre as well, though. The
it
training
is.
montage.
Yes. This is a
Yeah.
training montage, and of course you can put all
During
kinds
a
of.
scene, it's when they're in Piedmont. The Piedmont is an entire training montage.
Yeah, this is yes. There's room for romance in this too. So, I mean,
Oh, right. That's where the romance has to be. That's where,
that's where it
they're running
happens.
together and then one trips over a log into the other and they fall down and they're like, oh, we should make out now.
I love that kind of trope.
I'm glad that you love that kind of trope.
I can be so easy to please in some circumstances. So
Yeah.
very easy. Um,
We were just discussing this earlier though. Like you can literally please me by having the hero be just slightly less of an asshole than a trope calls for. And I'm like,
mm.
"Oh, he's not quite that big of an asshole. I love him." Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're gonna accept this guy because it could be worse. Mm.
Exactly. Which I feel like is just life in general, right?
It is unfortunately very much life in general.
Yeah.
Wow, this is going terribly. I have so many ways to distract myself when I cannot think properly, and it is. This has been a good day for that.
Oh, good. I had this weird piece of paper on the floor that I was like, what the hell is this? And then like I unfolded it with my toes because that's who I am as a person. And it ended up being like bigger than an 8.5 by 11. Like I guess it's 11 by 17. So like there was an extra fold. And like once I unfolded it, it ended up being
Interesting.
a map, and I have no idea what it's a map to or why it's on my floor underneath my desk.
Wow, now
And
that
the
sounds like the
one that
start of
I'm
the
like
story.
staring down at, it's this like whatever this damn map
It,
is.
I hope you do make a story out of that. Actually, I feel
I'm not
like
somebody who just finds maps on the floor.
today you are. Today you received your call.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the
Here's a
moment.
damn map. I guess I'm like actually gonna pick this thing up now that I've explained what I've been messing with for forever. Wow, this is like really big. It's a
Whoa.
it's a map of Hawaii. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. That was I don't know what's going on in my life. Okay. All right, I'm moving on. Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
All right. Move on.
Oh
We're
God, it's kind of right also. I am so
no.
sorry. I like ruined that entire break.
No.
Messing with things with my feet.
I, all right. Let's get on to the writing bit.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. So it is one past right now. This is our half hour writing block. So we are gonna see you guys at 31 after start now.
Okay, we are back.
Yes.
Yes. The scene I'm working on is going okay. Thank God.
What was that?
The scene I'm working on is going okay, thankfully.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Um, I was that email that I was waiting on for Amazon. I've been having issues with getting some cover art approved on Amazon. There's nothing wrong with the cover art. It just was like I had some size issues with it. Excuse me. I got the email like right as I was starting to do that writing break. I got the email finally saying that I was approved. And when I went to check the listing, because apparently it's just live now, I don't understand Amazon. It's okay. But when I went to check the listing, it turned out that they had removed all of the formatting from my description. So now I just
Oh.
look like a goddamn idiot who can't type things out properly. Uh,
No. No,
so I
that's.
had to do all that correcting. And the really weird thing is that I corrected that at the same time. Like the last update I did on my blurb,
Yeah.
I corrected it at the same time that I corrected the blurb for the digital version. And the digital version is perfectly fine. So I I have to blame Amazon on this one.
Are you doing your blurb with HTML?
No. I really didn't think I needed to until this exact moment.
Yeah. I I hear ya on that because I didn't think I needed to either until like recently, but apparently that's like a thing. So it's something to consider looking into.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Writers, when you're getting into publishing, just so you know, all the stuff that's supposed to be the easiest stuff is actually like the hardest goddamn stuff. And it's
yeah,
like really easy stuff. But then like it just goes wrong at every possible level.
yeah,
So like the book cover design, we think that the actual making a book cover that looks nice is going to be the problem. And I guess if you don't have any artistic flair, that is going to be a problem. Um, but for like somebody with artistic flair, um, it goes fairly easy as long as you know how to deal with Photoshop, and then getting it to fit the parameters, which seem to make perfect sense until you submit it to them and they're like, you're wrong, and you're
yeah,
wrong again, and you're wrong the third time. And you finally
yeah,
fix that issue, but now you're wrong because of this other thing that happened when you fixed that issue.
yeah.
Um, and also we're removing all of the line returns in your blurb now. Ah.
Yeah, no, this is a very accurate description of how the whole publishing
Yeah.
thing goes. I feel like yeah, is it just us right now? It probably is, but I feel like for posterity, publishing is so freaking hard. Like,
Yes.
and it shouldn't be because all of the steps, like you said, are like they look easy. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I have a template for this. I can handle a template. I know how to stay within the lines. Like, I'm on this. Okay, but you made your template based on what, cream paper as opposed to white, and you didn't know that the white paper was actually
I
slightly
mean,
thinner.
I used the white paper option when I got the template, and it was actually cream paper that I was using. And it turns out that they cut white paper slightly narrower than cream paper, is exactly what the scenario was.
I think that the cream
So the whole
paper.
time I'm like, I don't know why you're telling me that my sizing is wrong. I literally used the template that you gave me. Um, and it's just because I had gotten the template like well enough ago that I had just forgotten that that was the option that I had hit.
Yeah, yeah. So
And I didn't
that's.
think it was going to matter. Why would something like that matter? But it does.
It does. It does. Yeah. No, so it's actually an issue with the weight of the paper. Like at some point, I got
Oh.
so neurotic about this that I like, like you can like download their formulas and such if you work
Mhm.
really hard. So I've got this whole Excel spreadsheet. It says something like like I think it's called Kindle's a Nightmare. Because it is.
Yeah.
And it is all about those issues, like where the cream and the white paper.
Is it cheaper then to print on white paper than cream paper?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. But it appears that one is like slightly thicker. And, I honestly, I'd rather have the one that's the thinner paper. You know, like commercially produced, traditionally published books always have that like really super thin paper, and like the paper that Amazon gives you is what?
I didn't realize that Amazon's paper was that much thicker.
It is. It's a little thicker. So like if you
sorry if I was like my boob in the camera.
So if you compare, you know, your proof
copy. Right.
Yeah.
It is a pretty thick paper.
It's pretty substantial, actually.
I got that on Sandy's book that no longer exists, but will exist again, but will look completely different. You'll have no idea that it is the same book.
The same.
Yes.
Indeed.
That paper is, in fact, thicker. I wonder.
Yeah. But now I don't know if that's how Ingram Spark is. It could be that Ingram Spark's paper is totally fine. I should check and see if I have anybody who's been known by Ingram Spark down
here. Yeah, I never noticed that before. Also, to anybody who is not watching right now but might watch in the future, excuse me, neither of us, or at least I am not, I cannot speak for Sandy because I'm not Sandy, but neither of us are actually trash talking Amazon. I'm not even saying for liability reasons. I know you sometimes have to say that for liability reasons. I'm not saying that at all. We see a lot of writers trash talking Amazon because Amazon is a bit difficult to work with. But also Amazon allows you to indie publish for basically free.
Yeah.
Like just royalty. There's no overhead cost on it now with like KDP. It is amazing. Yes, they have like a lot of restrictions and stuff is complicated, but it's because they're trying to do things as cheaply as possible, but like also make the customer happy. And of course they care more about the customer satisfaction than the vendor satisfaction. And that's also why like I hear a lot of flack toward Amazon about their rating policies for a couple different reasons. First of all, it's very confusing what they allow and what they don't allow and how they actually screen reviews. They're notorious for deleting valid reviews because they say that they come from friends and family, but they're guessing. They're doing the best they can. Also, they don't allow you to do reviews unless you've spent $50 or you've purchased 50 items. There's a restriction. Like you have to not just be an Amazon member to leave reviews, but you have to be an Amazon member and very good standing. I don't know, like what their restrictions are is like nothing for my Prime account. We live on Amazon. So I will never have to worry about not being able to leave a review.
Same.
Right. And I'm always like really surprised when people do go off on their rants about how they can't leave reviews. I'm like, what? Do you still go to the store? What is that like?
Yeah. I get confused by this too. Yeah.
Yeah. Get Amazon. It's amazing. And it's so much cheaper. And like, let me tell you, if you like cross compare with like Walmart, you just save so much money. I also use eBay. I'm the cheapest person you've ever met. That's okay. Anyways, so the reason that they have that restriction is to make sure that you're an actual customer when you're reviewing items. It's really hard. Like they can't police reviewing them based on if you've purchased it through them or not, because especially remember that they did start out as book vendors. And books in particular, that's very difficult for them to do because of things like ARC readers. Amazon is extremely pro ARC readers as long as you follow their rules on it, and their rules are very easy. Just like don't be crappy, don't force people to leave reviews. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about that at all. But what I am trying to say is they have that policy to make sure that you are a real person and that you are not just flooding your product or whomever's product with reviews, thus skewing things for the customer. Because again, their number one concern is that the customer is getting the best possible information. Obviously, when customers are misled, it costs them money. So I am absolutely pro Amazon. It's just really frustrating to work with them on the um, putting things together standpoint.
Well, I mean, it's just like it's a huge learning curve, right? So like
It is, yeah.
you're spending so much time trying to uh, none of this is nothing is undoable, right? Like almost everything can be done on
Yeah.
Amazon. And they're actually
In
really
fact,
good.
things are more undoable on Amazon than they are on Goodreads. Changing your book cover on Goodreads is a nightmare. Keep going, Sandy.
Oh, yeah, no, you can't change your book cover on
No,
Goodreads.
you have to like talk to people, and
Mm,
yeah, yeah. And of course, we live in a world where like talking to people is disgusting. Continue what you were
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
Sandy.
Yeah, but Amazon, they have really good customer support. Like they'll actually get back with you. It's a person that actually emails you
Yes.
back.
Yes, if it's
Yeah.
an email, it's definitely within that like 72 hours, normally within 48 hours.
And I think Amazon, I don't know, like people get really weird about Amazon. Like there'll be, stores that don't want you, like your independent bookstore doesn't want you buying from Amazon. They want you buying online from them or something.
Yeah.
And so you're not supposed to say Amazon because it's like a dirty word in the store.
Yeah.
People get all like,
It's like Walmart.
yeah, yeah. But, Amazon doesn't do this. And it has a lot of competitors, right? And there's nowhere
Mhm.
that Amazon's like, oh no, don't use Ingram
Yeah.
Spark. It's like, come
Yeah.
on in, however.
Also, like
Um,
books are such a small percentage of their business anymore. Like I feel like books are more their heart than their actual brain at this point.
oh, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. But in any case, if you're trying it, basically the moral of the story is give yourself a little extra time, as in like
Yeah.
3 weeks of extra time,
Yeah.
because, yeah, this is
And like
harder
maybe
than you
talk to
think.
somebody. Like if you're having issues, um, get in touch with another writer. You should have like a decent enough writer circle that there's somebody somewhere you can ask, even if it's on like a Facebook group. And normally somebody will have some, they'll be able to help you with the process.
Yes. All
Yeah.
right, should we do our last 10-minute for the day?
We should. We absolutely should. We've been starting progressively later as
Okay.
this session has gone on. So we'll start just a wee bit early if I can get this whole thing loaded.
Okay.
Which I feel like I've got a lot better with this week specifically.
This has been
But
good.
there we are. Oh, and actually it's quarter of now. So we will see you guys at 5 of.
Okay. Where's my mute? Okay. Phew.
Yeah. I actually got writing in that time, which was a bit of a struggle today. So at least I got some words in for the last 10 minutes.
I get it. I feel like I was also getting a little bit of editing done. Now I'm supposed to go run, and don't follow my example, people watching, but I think I'm going to skip it so I can stay focused on my writing. That's probably not good for me.
Oh, see, as a creative but fat person, I fully support skipping running in order to create more.
I
I was thinking after this that I was going to hit up the selection of desserts that we got from the Greek
oh
festival this weekend.
I bet you have baklava, don't you? Oh my
I
god.
have so much baklava. It like is drippy.
Oh
Yeah, it's craziness. And then like other stuff, there's like an almond roll and something with like powdered something. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of really. It's crazy how sweet Greek stuff is.
yeah, I think in heaven I'm
I
like
feel like
swimming
Americans
in.
get a bad rap for everything being too sweet in America, and it's a lie.
Yeah, because yeah no in my heaven somewhere, like I will be floating in baklava. Like there will be like that drippy honey oily substance all around me, and I'll just be like kicked back on a piece of
I
baklava.
I like baklava. I like, but it's definitely one of those things that like I can eat cake all day, but I will have one serving of baklava and no thank you after that.
Oh no, I can binge eat baklava. It is
Me
not good. Yeah, yeah.
Kim's mom makes it and she cuts it into these little like 1 inch squares. And I'm
Mm.
like, thank you so much because that's all I need. Like, I just want to taste baklava. I don't actually need like a gigantic wedge of it like these are, but I will eat a gigantic wedge because it is available.
Well, I understand that too, and I'm not saying I can't manage to eat like a lot of cake. Just that baklava features more prominently in mine.
You think more of baklava.
I do. I dream of baklava. All right. Yes. So that's what we're
That's
both
our
thinking
closing
about right
statement.
now. It's probably good. We're headed on vacation and such. Or I am, and we're headed towards Memorial Day. Do you have any vacations this summer, Chloe? Going anywhere fun?
Remember, I'm going to be in the Outer Banks for 2.5 months.
Yes. When is that happening?
At the end of July, I gotta still, or excuse me, end of June, I still have to work some stuff out. But I've got that, and then somehow I have to get back for a week in August because I have some friends who are getting married, and normally, like,
Ah,
I would not try to finagle something like this in the middle. Like, I wouldn't try to take a trip in the middle of a trip, but
yeah.
these friends are also like they just bought a houseboat and they're going to be sailing around the continent, I guess.
Wow. That's awesome.
So if I don't, yes, but if I don't come back for their wedding, I won't see them until
A
Lord
while.
knows when. Like it could be like a year or multiple years. I don't know. So I will be taking a vacation in August, and then I will have Dragon Con, which is my cheap way out of going to actual writers conventions
Hmm.
because they have their little mini ghetto writers convention at Dragon Con. I'll have that at the end of August, and that is my summer.
All right. Well, so we'll have to plan some stuff around that. For now, if you are watching, we will not be back until Monday, June 10th. So enjoy the next
Yes,
couple weeks that you have off, and we'll see you then.
yes,
All right. Happy
yeah.
writing in the meanwhile, everyone.
Yeah, happy writing and happy Memorial Day if you are in the US.
Yes.
If you're in other countries and also having a holiday, enjoy those. Um, I don't know any foreign holidays except for like Bastille Day in July. Yes. So yeah, you guys have a good little time off and get all of your writing done, and we will see you on the 10th.
Okay. All right. So bye, everyone.
Bye.